It's an honor to participate in the Thyroid Cancer Survivors Conference, and welcome all of you to St. Louis. I'm Lee-Kyung Park, a cancer epidemiologist, and you may wonder what epidemiologist does. Sometimes people get confused with dermatologist, but most of my research is focused on the people's lifestyle that includes diet, physical activity, obesity, smoking, drinking, and all kinds of people's lifestyle and how that affects people's cancer risk and also the cancer survival. So today, I will first briefly talk about the thyroid cancer, and then we'll talk about the three main things: being maintaining the healthy body weight, and then being physically active and eating healthy. I'm sure you all are very familiar with the thyroid cancer, but few kind of facts about the thyroid cancer is thyroid cancer is the 8th most common cancer in the United States. And about 62,000 new thyroid cancer cases is expected in this year alone. And most of this thyroid cancer is often diagnosed in women than men. And about less than 2,000 cases less than 2,000 thyroid cancer cases are expected to die. And there are 4 types of thyroid cancer. So papillary thyroid cancer, which is the most common type, and then follicular and medullary thyroid cancer. And medullary thyroid cancer, this one is often happens due to the changes in a gene. And then anaplastic thyroid cancer. And this thyroid cancer is more common in white Asians than blacks, African American Indians, and Alaskan natives. And also this thyroid cancer is more common in non-Hispanic population than Hispanic population. Unlike other cancers, thyroid cancer tend to diagnose in younger people. In most other cancers, people do get diagnosed their cancer at their late 60s and 70s. But thyroid cancer, most of this thyroid cancer is diagnosed in between their 40s and 60s. And especially in women, actually the thyroid cancer is diagnosed much earlier than men, and in their 40s and 50s, the thyroid cancer is diagnosed, and men actually tend to get diagnosed with thyroid cancer in their late 60s and 70s. And actually what this graph here showing is the incidence of the thyroid cancer by their age group. And as you can see here, 24% of cancer is diagnosed between age 45 and 54. And then actually, even in their 20s and 30s, another 15 and 20% are diagnosed. Oh, and if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt and ask questions. Yeah. Unfortunately, there are not that many known risk factors for the thyroid cancer. So far, what is known is if the person had a radiation treatment, especially in head and neck area when they were kids, their risk of being diagnosed with thyroid cancer is higher, but not in the adulthood. But just when you're when you are a kid and had extensive thyroid the radiation exposure in your head and neck area, those people tend to have a higher chance of getting the thyroid cancer. And also there's a little bit of the genetic factors. So if you have a family history of thyroid cancer or some of the thyroid disease, your risk of getting the thyroid cancer is higher. And also history of having the goiter, which is enlarged thyroid, that also increase the risk for the thyroid cancer. But one good news about the thyroid cancer is actually the survival rate is very high. Compared to all other cancer sites, thyroid cancer is the most cancer which has the highest survival rate. So on average, 5-year survival rate is 98%. And especially when your thyroid cancer is diagnosed in early stage, like either localized stage or the regional stage, the 5-year survival rate is almost close to the 100%. But if your thyroid cancer was diagnosed at the advanced stage, unfortunately, the survival rate goes down to 54%. So probably many of you or your family members or your loved ones had been living with a thyroid cancer for many years, and many of them probably living quite a healthy and good life. So then you may wonder, oh, I've been doing pretty well so far. Why do I need to change my lifestyle at this point? Well, there are many reasons why you need to change your lifestyle to more healthier style. The first, cancer could come back anytime. Actually, we do not know. There's not, unfortunately, really unfortunate, there are not that many researches being done in the thyroid cancer. So I cannot say for the thyroid cancer specific. But in general, in most of the cancer survivors, there's a higher chance of the cancer coming back. We do not know when it's going to come back and why it's going to come back and what increase your risk of getting this recurrence cancer. But if you keep having this unhealthy lifestyle, there is higher risk of your cancer coming back. And even if your cancer is not coming back, still, those people will be in a higher risk of having other types of cancer, like breast cancer, prostate, kidney, colorectal, any other types of cancer can happen to you again. And also, even if all this cancer is not coming back, there's no new cancer, but still, if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, that will increase your likelihood of getting all other types of chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease, and all other disease. That's why if you want to live healthy and happier in the future, probably it's not too late to change your lifestyle and adopt more a healthier lifestyle pattern. Well, for the healthier lifestyle, there can be many, many other different aspects. There's too many of them. But then today, I'll just only focus three topics, which is the main one is first, having a healthy body weight, being physically active, and eating healthy. It sounds like it's a very simple one, but you all know how hard to do at least one of these. So then, what is a healthy weight? Probably many of you are familiar with this. You may heard about this BMI. It's body mass index. There are a couple different ways to tell whether the person has a healthy weight or not. And body mass index, BMI, is a well-known and well-used in scientific literature to measure the body fat based on your height and weight. If you Google BMI, actually there are tons of websites showing how to calculate the BMI. You can just put your height and weight, then it will calculate your BMI. And here I show you the table, the BMI table. And actually you can look for your height and then weight. Then you can find your BMI numbers here. And I color-coded this BMI because usually we grouped people's BMI into 4 different groups, either underweight, healthy weight, overweight, and obese. If the BMI is less than 18.5, it's considered as being underweight. And BMI between 18.5 to 25 is healthy weight, and between 25 to 30 is overweight, and above 30 is obese. Then why obese is so bad? There are many, many research showing how bad being obese is on your health. I'll just show you just one slide here. This study was following the U.S. women in the cancer prevention study, which was conducted by American Cancer Society. And they grouped women into the BMI categories and compared those women in the healthy body weight. Those women who are obese, actually they have increased risk of all types of cancer. Probably it's hard for you to read all these cancer sites, but if I just read few of them is colorectal, ovary, liver, breast cancer, esophagus, pancreas, kidney, and endometrial cancer. And actually the number here, what it means is, let's see, for like ovarian cancer. What this means, 1.51 means is compare those women who are healthy, who are in the normal healthy weight. The women who are obese, they have 51% increased risk of having ovarian cancer. And for the breast cancer, 2.12 is more than 2 times likely to have breast cancer. So this one, there are many other studies showing for both men and women, being obese is significantly increase your risk of developing many different kind of cancer. And especially for the cancer survivors, there wasn't many kind of research being done, unfortunately. So I'm borrowing the study from the breast cancer survivors. What this study did was they followed about 2,000 breast cancer survivors. And then they asked their body weight before they have the cancer. And then they measure their body weight 1 year after they diagnosed with cancer. And then they follow those women on average about 9 years. And then see about the 9 years whether the women is still alive or died. If they passed away, then what was the cause of death? So in here, and then they calculate how much weight changed before the cancer diagnosis and then 1 year after the cancer diagnosis. And then they group the women, those who maintained the weight, so their weight was the same as before and then after the cancer diagnosis. And then there's women who mostly people gain their weight or they lose weight. So even for those women who gained weight, they grouped into 2 groups. This group, they gained weight less than about 5 pounds, 4.4 pounds. And then there's a group of women who gained more than 4.4 pounds. So then compare those women who maintained their body weight. The women who gained their weight, their risk for any death, the risk for any death was the 59% increased. And then the risk for the death due to the breast cancer was 64% increased. And then the breast cancer came back. The likelihood of getting breast cancer coming back was 53%. So this one is the risk was much more obvious in those women who gain more weight than less weight. But then even there's a small amount of gain weight during 1 year. This was the weight gain about during 1 year after cancer diagnosed. Their risk of getting dying or getting the cancer back was 35% to 40% increased. And then those women who lost their weight, for the risk of dying due to any cause was increased 11%, but actually this number was not statistically significant. So then why we are gaining weight? Actually, in a way, in a simpler term, it's a simple math, but it's not. So basically, to maintain our weight, what we are eating in terms of the calorie which you eat from your diet has to be all spent on your movement. So what you take in is all spent by just moving around. Then your intake is the same as your out. So then it's balanced. So you can maintain your weight. But then if this balance is tipped off in either way, then you gain weight or you lose weight. So if you eat more and move less, then you are taking a lot, but then your output is small, so you're gonna gain weight. But then if you eat less and then move more, then since you are spending your energy more, you will lose weight. I mean, it seems very simple in this kind of figure, but I do know how hard it is in reality. So then, in a way, if you are already in a good, healthy weight, your goal is maintaining your weight. So then, okay, if I want to maintain my weight, what I'm eating every day has to be spent. Then how do I spend? You have to move. Then how much do I have to move? Actually, you have to figure it out. Because it depends on how much you ate. You ate a lot, that means you have to move a lot too. If you do not like moving a lot, then you have to eat a little. So the thing is, you cannot just choose only one. Actually, really, it's a balance between in and out. And you have to make it happen, make balance. But this is in a long term. Just, one day, okay, today I ate a lot, but move a little. Then next day, you eat less and then move a lot. Then on average between two, you are maintaining your balance. So you don't have to maintain this balance every day. But if you realize, recently I've been eating a lot but not moving enough, then switch it to eating less but moving a lot. So then a week later, you can keep the balance. And another trick is actually weighing yourself pretty much every day or every other day and see whether this scale is moving one way or the other. So actually, either gaining weight or losing weight without your effort. You are not doing anything special, but all of a sudden you start losing weight or gaining weight. It can be a sign for your health problem. So then you need to talk to your doctor. But if you are on diet, so you've been keep trying to lose weight, and then the scale is moving back, well, that's a good sign, isn't it? So then, I know there are tons of diets promising that if you do this, do that, you're going to lose weight. And they always show you the before picture and after picture. And all those magic happens usually within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, in a very short time. Well, it can happen for some people, not everybody. But then the problem is those weight you lose very quickly, it comes back very quickly too. The key is not just losing weight. After you lose weight, how to maintain. Often, a lot of people also participate in the diet trials, the weight loss trials. They are doing very good while they are on the study, while they are on trial. For 6 months or for 12 months, yes, they've been keep losing weight while they are on study. The study is done, and then they are on their own. Usually, if we go back and look at those people 1 year later, they all gain back their weight. So what you have to do is you don't have to set your goal so high. The key is if you really want to lose weight, you just need to lose weight 1 or 2 pounds per week. So it sounds either too much or too less, depends on how you take it. But then the goal is really losing 1 or 2 pounds per week for long period of time. And usually it's good to kind of set the 6-month plan. So you want to lose 1 or 2 pounds per week, then actually that means it's going to be the 4 to 8 pounds per week. That is a significant amount of weight loss. So then how do I lose 1 or 2 pounds per week? Well, the combination of diet and physical activity will be a good strategy. Usually it's hard to just only doing the diet or only doing the physical activity. Doing both, the diet and physical activity, will help you to lose weight as well as maintain the weight. So then to lose 1 or 2 pounds per week, usually it roughly calculated to 500 to 1,000 kilocalories per day. Ooh, that's a lot, isn't it? Well, the number looks really high, 500 to 1,000 kilocalories per day. Oh my God, then I probably just drink water every day. That's all I have to do. No, actually, if you give up 1 cookie or the 1 muffin or the 1 chocolate bar, easily you can cut 300 kilocalories. But then usually what helps you to kind of see how I'm eating and what I'm eating is, first I want you to kind of start writing a food diary. So, nowadays, there's a lot of apps, smartphone apps you can download, and actually you can just put it in there, or you don't have to do it. Just a pen and pencil in your note. But the key is keep writing down at least for 1 week. So then you can see, you can see what really you ate and what you have done in the past week. But then the key thing is not just what you ate. Also write down what time you ate, and then how you felt while you were eating. So for example, I ate breakfast 7 in the morning. So then you will have like the columns like breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, and then you start writing, I had a coffee. But then it's not just a coffee. You may have put the milk, like how much milk you ate, plus I added 3 tablespoons of sugar. And then, so the key is a bit of detail. The coffee doesn't tell you, because some people, they drink just black coffee, and some people with a latte. Black coffee and latte, the calorie intake is quite different. So keep in the details. The coffee, and then I had a cereal. You may want to say, I just had only half cup, but probably in reality you put 1 or 2 cups of the cereal and then another milk. And then you can write down, actually, while I was eating breakfast, I was watching TV. So what happened while you were eating, just write down. Just put a little note saying, I was watching TV, or I was having dinner with my wife or my husband. And then say, another like 10:30, I was thirsty, so I had a soda. Then you write down soda. And then write down why you drank that soda. I was thirsty. And so on. So you keep this for at least for 5 days or for a week. Usually I recommend to keep for a week, because usually people's diet during the daytime is different, during the weekday is different from the weekend. So you want to see how you are eating in the weekend and also the weekdays. So it's good to have like about a week of the diary with all these details. And then 1 week later, you start looking at what you wrote. Then I'm sure you will find some kind of pattern. Everybody has a habit. So actually, you wouldn't know while you are just doing it, but then once you write down all your eating habits in a 1 page, you can easily see. So then you can see, I've been eating dessert after every dinner. That's not a good sign. And if you are looking for the 5,000 to 1,000 kilocalorie you want to cut, there it is. Probably instead of having the dessert every dinner, you can have, instead of the heavy dessert, you can find lighter dessert, like the fruits, instead of cheesecake. Instead of ice cream, you can find yogurt. Some people may think that's not a dessert, proper dessert, but and then sometimes you see, actually I've been kept drinking soda because I was thirsty. Why don't I just drink water, not the soda? When you're thirsty, it's better to drink water than the soda. Then there's another 250 calories. So it's important for you to recognize for yourself what is my eating habit. Just keep hearing other people say, you should eat this and eat that, should not eat this. It actually doesn't help. You have to realize what is your own dietary habit. So one good way to recognize your own habit is really writing down. Be honest, and then literally write down everything you are eating. Then after 1 week later, you can really find where is my bad habit, and then you can change some of those bad habits. Please do not change all of bad habits at one time. It's not going to work. Just choose the 1 or 2 things you can give up. Really, sometimes people are so motivated. No, I'm going to do this. It usually happens January, right? When the new year comes. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start having the new diet. That doesn't help. So just choose 1 or 2 things you think you can do it. So then once you change those 1 or 2 habits, and then after 3 or 4 months later, you do the same exercise again. Then you will find another bad habit. At that time, you change it again, just only 1 or 2. It is a long, long process. Really, there's no magic bullet. You just push one button and magically you lose all the weight and that doesn't happen. It's a slow process. It's okay. So just take your time and just choose 1 or 2 things you think, I can do this time. Then make it as a new good habit. And then coming back 4 months, 6 months later and do it again and then change it. Then you will realize, by doing this, I already lose 5 pounds or the 6 pounds. It is a really good progress. And then another one key thing is to lose weight, you have to move. So then, sometimes people really want to see the dramatic changes in a short term, but that doesn't happen. If you do what I said, probably the change will occur slowly. Then often people will discourage that, nothing is happening. No, actually, there are tons of research showing that even those modest change in your body weight, it actually improves your health a lot. So even 5 to 10% of your total body weight, if you lose just 5 to 10%, that it improves your blood cholesterol, blood pressure and blood sugar, and sometimes it reverts back the diabetes. And so even this little change actually improves your health. So for example, you are 200 pounds, and then the 5% of this 200 pounds is just 10 pounds. So you lose 10 pounds, so then you are now 190 pounds. You are still probably, depends on your height, on the BMI chart, you are still either obese or overweight. But still, this 5% change improves your health. So don't be discouraged and just keep doing it. Probably your neighbor is doing this, right? Not you, your neighbor, right? So literally, I'm not going to go over all of this, but literally many studies, many research has shown that what is the benefit of the physical activity. The physical activity that improves your physical health, but also your emotional health. Studies have shown that physical activity lowers anxiety, depression, and also that it makes you feel happier and feel good about yourself. Not only all this physical health you are gaining, strengthening muscle and getting more cardiovascular fitness. I mean, on top of all this good thing, you feel good about yourself. And actually, the Greek physician, 5,000 years ago, he was already saying walking is the man's best medicine. So then, physical activity guidelines currently for the adult is 150 minutes each week of moderate activity, such as brisk walking, or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise, either the jogging, swimming, or some types of vigorous exercise, on top of strengthening exercise 2 or more days. I mean, 150 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes, that's too much, isn't it? But it's not saying you do all this in a one time. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes throughout a week. So when you add up, you don't have to do all this in a one sitting. So you can just do every 20 minutes or 30 minutes per day. Or the trick is actually when you start doing some kind of physical activity, keep doing it at least for 10 minutes. Don't stop after 5 minutes. Just keep doing it at least 10 minutes. And then you can stop. That's fine. Okay, I do just 10 minutes today. Then I will do another 10 minutes or tomorrow or the later this evening. So then this adding up to 150 minutes of moderate activity or the 75 minutes of the vigorous activity. So the key is keep doing it, but then do at least 10 minutes per time. Yeah. But then actually, I don't know how often you hear about this sedentary behavior. The sedentary, word comes from the Latin word sedere, which means to sit. So actually the sedentary behavior means the activities which use very little energy. And also it happens while you are sitting or reclining. So most common sedentary behavior is sitting, actually what you are doing now. And I guess most of you were doing it all day today and yesterday. So actually if you want, you can stand up and probably it blocks your colleague's view. Then you can just stand in the back of the room or the side of the room. Please stand up. It's fine. So actually, sitting too much is not good for you. So I'll show you some of the interesting slides. Stretch your leg and and often actually when you stand up, actually you pay more attention. So, I mean, nowadays, all our lifestyle is very sedentary. Either we are sitting in the office or at home, watching too much TV, even doing the computer or using the smartphone and tablet, you are all in your sofa, doing it all in your sofa. And also in your office, most of you probably sitting at least 6 to 7 hours per day. But too much sitting doesn't mean the person is doing too little exercise. I'll give you an example. So a person is bike to the office in the morning, about 20 minutes. And then once he is arrived in the office, probably he's sitting in the office and working for 8 hours, almost 8 hours. And then bike back to home for 20 minutes again. So this person already did 40 minutes of biking, which is a good exercise. So you feel like, oh, this person is perfect. It's already hitting the physical activity guidelines. So probably good. But then after coming back home, after the dinner, the person probably going to sit in the couch and watch TV hour or 2 hours, or they're doing some of the computer work. So when you look at the entire day of the person, almost, except for the sleeping, almost 80% or 90% of time, the person is sitting, not moving much. So here, even for those people who spent their 8 hours or most of the day in the sitting, the researchers, they grouped into 2 types, either breaker or the prolonger. So what it shows here is actually this is the entire time, from the morning to the evening. This person was wearing a device which can measure whether the person was sitting or standing. And you can see it here. This person has all the black, it's very solid black or the white. But then this person has much more breaks in between. So this person once probably sitting for 2 or 3 hours at a time. But this person, the breaker, so-called breaker, was sitting 30 minutes and then going to the printer to pick up some printout, and then coming back, sitting another 20 minutes, and get up and go to talk to his coworker or something like that. So when we compare these people, the prolonger to the breaker, actually these breakers, what this one was measuring their people's waist circumference. Usually the waist circumference is kind of the marker for the central obesity. And you can see there's a 6 centimeters of difference. So even though you are spending the 8 hours in sitting, depends on, some people literally can stand sitting 6 hours straight, or some people was just taking break in between. It's better to take a break in between. And this was a study actually my colleague and I have done. It's measuring oh yes.
With people standing, I can't see the screen. Can we see
Sure, yes.
I can't see past people's bodies.
Sure, yeah. But if you want to keep standing, then would you move to the back of the room or the side of the room? So actually, when the people who are doing the physical activity research, if we go to their scientific meetings, what happens is a lot of people are standing around the room instead of sitting. So this study, what it shows is actually we measured people's physical activity. This one is actually the leisure time physical activity, and then TV viewing time. The TV viewing time is a way of kind of looking at how sedentary, how long the person was sitting. So then those people, so this is kind of the group we are comparing. The people who are not doing enough exercise, but watching lots of TV. Compare those people not doing exercise and just sitting and watching TV. Those people, the same people who are still watching lots of TV, but then doing lots of exercise, they have the lower risk of dying. This was among the colorectal cancer survivors. And then those people who also having lots of exercise, but also has less sitting time, actually their risk of dying was much lower. It's the lowest among all these groups. So just moving a lot isn't enough. You have to reduce the time being sitting. Yeah. So then there can be many tricks how we can reduce these sedentary behaviors. The few things I can suggest is at home, you go walk with your family when you have time. And also it's good to kind of having a pedometer and check how many steps you've been taking daily. And nowadays, a lot of the cell phones, actually, it has those apps in their cell phones. So you can use your cell phone. And when you watch TV, always there is a commercial break. Then during the commercial break, you get up and walk around instead of just keep sitting and looking at the commercials. There are not that many interesting commercials anyway, right? So either go to the bathroom or just walk around and then come back and watch TV. I'm not telling you stop watching TV. You do watch TV, but during the commercials, just get up and move instead of just sitting. And also the same, when you're reading a book, or I know it's so interesting and you cannot stop, but then after like the 6, 7 pages, get up and just walk around a couple steps and then come back and continue to read. And also, when you talk on the phone, instead of just sitting on your sofa or your couch, just stand up and then talking while you are just talking on the phone, just walking. So, or just dance on your favorite song. So there are many different ways you can kind of move. I'm not telling you you have to do the exercise. This is just standing and moving. So the key is just moving. So usually it's just going to be just walking. So, and then at work, there are many other ways you can, kind of increase your activities. And nowadays, it's becoming more and more common to use a stand-up desk. Probably we cannot afford to buy those fancy stand-up desks, but then there are like 200, 300 small ones you can just add onto your existing desk. Then, yes, you can sit and walk, but then after 30 minutes or 40 minutes, you just raise your desk and then you can continue to work while you are standing. And again, when you talk on the phone, instead of just sitting and reclining, you can stand up and then talk. And there are some of the studies showing that in the business, when they have a stand-up meeting, it was much more productive than just having a meeting in a seat on the table. So find the ways to move around, or at least stand instead of sitting. So if you always have a choice between the sitting and standing, and if you can do it, probably it's better to stand. And then one of my kind of the favorite one, when you go to the bathroom, take the long walk instead of find a very short walk to your bathroom. Find a long one. And also in the parking lot, instead of parking your car very close to your office, just park a little bit further so then you can walk a little bit more. These little things really adds up. So now, oh gosh, I realize I don't have that much time about the diet. But basically, the healthy diet, probably you all know what I'm going to say. You probably heard too many times. But really, this figure here, I put it in here, is actually those are the dietary recommendations from many different countries. This is the U.S. dietary recommendations. I think this is the German one. This is Australian, and this is the UK one. All the common theme is eating more food from plants. So that is not just only the fruits and vegetables, but also whole grains, legumes, and nuts. Because these foods, it contains all the nutrients you need for to maintain your health. And another few little key things is if you have an option and if you can choose, it's better to eat fish or poultry. And also if you're going to eat the dairy food, low-fat dairy food. But have to be careful. Usually the fat-free dairy food has a lot of sugar, which is not good. So actually, instead of those fat-free, low-fat would be better. And also, when you eat meats, try to choose the lean meat. And also, if you want to drink alcohol, really, no more than 2 drinks per day for men, and no more than 1 drinks per day for women. And also, limit your refined grains and added sugars. So actually, these types of diet is very similar to so-called Mediterranean diet, which shown to be very healthy and very effective to maintain good health. And also, there's a lot of controversies about the fat, but this one is getting much more clear. There is a good fat and bad fat. Clearly, the bad one is the trans fat. And usually, probably you heard a lot about the trans fat in the news and in the all other media. And usually the trans fat is used in the fried food. So you have to be careful. And then the fats from animal product. That is not bad as trans fat, but it's not good. And also, usually the oils from plant food is good, but except for the coconut oil. Actually, the coconut oil is high in saturated fat and is not good. But then all other types of fat, the oils from plants, like the olive oil or all types of vegetable oils, those are good fats. And also fats from fish is a good one. And probably people want to know where there's any kind of really the superfood. But actually, in nutrition, when I studied nutrition, there is no superfood. This is the term made by the business people or the popular media because people are always looking for some very easy thing to fix their bad diet. So people are just saying, oh, this is a superfood. If you eat this, everything will be fine. Or people think, oh, taking this superfood, they can compensate all those their bad diet, which is not true. Actually, we can say all the good food is a superfood. Any food with a good nutrition value can be a superfood. And also, actually, if you kind of think back, all this superfood changes every year or every time. Depends on who is pushing what types of food. So instead of looking for the superfood, just eat your fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts. Those are all superfood. And also the dietary supplement. Actually, 6 out of 10 adults in America, they are taking some kind of dietary supplements. Probably many of you already know that dietary supplement is not tightly regulated by FDA. It's not like the drug. For the drug, it has to go through all the process of making sure it's safe and works. For dietary supplement, actually the manufacturers, they can put any claims they want because FDA doesn't regulate dietary supplements. So they can say, oh, their supplements cure this and that and provide all this such a good things. If you read and sounds too good, probably that's not true. And also, people think, oh, this is a good thing, this is a good nutrient, so if I take more, it will be better. Often it's not. More is not better. Often your body has some tolerance level. So if you take tons of, for example, the vitamin C, that's good for your health. But if you take a lot, actually most of them is going out through your urine. It does not stay in your body. So actually there's no need to take that much because your body not going to take and just going to go out. And also some of those the supplements, actually those megadose can be toxic. So it has to be careful. And always talk to your doctor, especially when you're taking any medicine. There is a good chance that your supplements you are taking may interact with your medicine. So can have some bad effect. So you need to talk to your doctor. Yes?
I agree, but I have to say that I found doctors like horribly uneducated in terms of nutrition. So yeah, we talked to my husband's doctor, and we're like, okay, Steve is taking turmeric. Okay, good. What's that? The nurse knows. The doctor never heard of it. That's just one comment. But another thing is there's a really good website called consumerlab.com, and at least if you're going to take the supplements, they evaluate them. It costs money. It's $60 for 2 years, but if you're into supplements, I highly recommend joining Consumer Lab because at least your pills are evaluated. And the last thing is there's a third-rate website called nutritionfacts.org, and there's a lot of good information there.
So when you take the supplement, really, you need to think first, do I really need it? And also, yes, doctor may not help you, but it's a good idea to talk to your doctor and make sure that medication you are taking is not going to interfere with the dietary supplements. But then sometimes, actually, dietary supplements can be helpful, especially if the person is diagnosed with some kind of nutrition deficiency. It's clearly the person needs the supplements. So there is a case that supplements will help. But as a rule of thumb, try to eat all those nutrients from food, not from supplements. You can spend the same amount of money on a good food than supplements. And also, always the balanced, healthy diet, really, that's all you need. Often, all you need is a balanced diet. But then again, when you start writing down, you can realize, oh, I'm eating either too much carbohydrate or I'm eating too much meat. So try to make balance. Once you start having the balanced, healthy diet, all nutrient is there.
We have about 10 minutes left.
Yes. Yes.
I've had blood tests and one.
Can we try and use the mic?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Is that?
It's on.
Yes.
Okay, so I've had, during my annual checkups with my regular internal doctor or internist, he always mentions about vitamin D deficiency. Is there food?
So vitamin D is the types of vitamin. And usually, especially the whites, they tend to have a lower vitamin D values. But then the vitamin D, the best source for the vitamin D is actually sunlight. Unlike other nutrients, vitamin D is actually synthesized under your skin. If you go outside and stay under the sun for 10 to 15 minutes, then your body will make vitamin D you need for a day. But then, nowadays, a lot of people are putting the sunscreen and the long sleeve and usually stay inside, not going out. If you're just walking, during the lunch hour, go out and walk for a few blocks, actually it's good for you, it's your physical activity as well as you are making your vitamin D. So then vitamin D is a bit controversial. Yes, there's a huge kind of force saying that vitamin D is the miracle kind of drug. So it will cure everything. But actually there is the same amount of evidence showing that actually vitamin D, people do not have to take the vitamin D supplements unless they are in a really severe deficiency. So, and also nowadays, usually the fatty fish has a good amount of vitamin D. And also the many dairy products, like the milk is fortified with vitamin D. So actually, again, when you have a good diet and then doing some exercise under the sun, you will have good vitamin D. Yeah, so don't have to be really worry about the vitamin D, but it has been a recent kind of phenomenon. All of a sudden, you hear about the vitamin D, and everybody's saying, oh, you do need to take the vitamin D. And often I found what doctor prescribes is a quite high dose. And still it says it is in a tolerable the dose, but still we do not know what will be the long-term consequences. And another thing is, if you start taking one specific nutrient too much, the balance will be they're going to be unbalanced in your body. Actually, to maintain a good health, all the nutrient has to be in balance. But all of a sudden, you are taking so much of one specific nutrient, then it's possible it's going to have some unknown, not so good effect on the other nutrient. So once my doctor also told me that I'm a vitamin D deficiency and prescribed me the megadose of the vitamin D. And in front of him, I said, okay. But then, no, I'm doing the cancer research, and the vitamin D is really not a promising one. So it's, still, yes?
Can I make a comment? Dr. Sherman, I think at last year's ThyCa conference, somebody asked him which supplement, if he had to take any, and he'd say, I just take one, and that was vitamin D. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of an interesting comment that I shared from last year.
It's possible because there's a kind of two groups of people who strongly believes the vitamin D, and then there's other groups saying that vitamin D is just another nutrient. All of a sudden, very recently, it got hyped up, but in the long run, we do not know what's going to be a long-term effect. And again, really, vitamin D is synthesized under your skin when you have the sun exposure. So it's not a long exposure, just 10 to 15 minutes under the sun, you have enough vitamin D for a day. Yeah. So then here, actually, since the time is getting up, this one, I want to show one interesting study we have done is here we kind of scored this was the colorectal cancer survivors. We kind of gave those people who are eating healthy, then they score of 1, and they are doing the enough exercise, another score of 1. If they are not doing it, the score of 0. And then maintaining the healthy body weight, and not drinking alcohol, and then not smoking. I did not talk about the smoking at all, but I believe, there's no need to say about how bad smoking is, right? So those people has all those perfect, a good lifestyle, have the 5 scores, and those bad score is either 0 or 1. So those people who has just 1 or 0 or 1 score, you can see people, as this score increases, this is a risk of dying among the colon cancer survivors. Actually, their risk is significantly decreased. The same for the rectal cancer survivors. So here, it doesn't matter what combination of this lifestyle they are having. Any combination of this, maintaining at least 2, because this was compared to 1, at least 2 types of the good habit lowers risk of dying. So I'm not telling you have to do all these 5 good things, but then start slowly, just taking one by one. That will improve your health and maintain your good health. So really the take-home message is it's never late to make healthy lifestyle changes. And just start with a small change. Really, do not set your goal too high. Just take the ones you can do it. Again, achieve and maintain healthy body weight, and then get moving, physically active. Really, it's good to stand, and then do the exercise at least 150 minutes per week. It's not per day, per week. And also, if you do the exercise, keep doing it at least 10 minutes. And then less sitting. And also eating healthy, I'm sure you all know, but again, eating lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts. And I hope that you can change at least one bad habit you are having right now, and then move toward to have a healthier lifestyle. So I think this is the last slides. Thank you.